Hi, so today I'm going to be discussing my final portfolio project for media studies, and I'll be talking about our genre conventions, representation of certain social groups, target audience, technology, and distribution methods. So we start with our production company logo, which was a last-minute addition to our final film because once we went back and rewatched openings of horror movies, we realized that a lot of them gave credit to the production company in the beginning, so we added that, and Patty made that on Photoshop, which was fairly simple. And then we move into our establishing shot that shows the forest, the trail, and later our character sitting on the hood of the car. We have our credit lines there to give credit to the actors. And here they're discussing how he's going to college and she's going to miss him because she's staying there, which later draws into her motive for killing him and all of her friends because they're all leaving her to go to college. We thought this was relatable to not only us but our target audience, which is people aged 16 to 25, because they know the process of friends going to college, everybody being separated, which is something we are currently experiencing, so it was easy for us to emulate because we can relate to it. And here we have a bluish hue, which is seen in all of the shots except for the last one, which I will explain later, because we thought the bluish hue was aesthetically pleasing, and instead of it just being a dark scene because it was dark outside when we were shooting, the hue makes the characters more visible, and it just makes it a prettier shot. And here we have the characters in the car showing their intimate relationship. Because only the car light was on, it wasn't enough to see the characters well, and we wanted to make sure that the audience knows what's going on. So we took the other 3 iPhone flashlights and turned them on and put them onto our characters so that they were visible. And after this, it just shows their intimate relationship and how close they are. And then the intense music starts and the zooming in of the car brings the audience more into the scene. And then you start hearing the guy yelling about, like, what is the girlfriend doing? And then you see the blood splatter. And we had a lot of trouble with this blood splatter because we wanted to get the perfect look of blood splattering. And so Patty ended up just pooling the fake blood into her hand and throwing it on the window and then dragging her hand down, and it was the exact look we were looking for, so it worked out perfectly. And still you see the bluish hue, but once the character is getting out of the car, the scene becomes dark and she's covered in blood as well as he is, showing the gruesomeness of what just happened, and the darkness shows that murder was just commit and further murders will be committed in the future. And then it shows her walking into the forest that was seen in the establishing shot, showing that the movie will progress into that. And then we had a close-up of his hand that was dripping blood, which tilts up to his arm covered in blood, and later his face that shows that he's officially dead. And for this, we were thinking that we would distribute it on online streaming sites such as Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Hulu, and other things like that, because it's an indie, like, homemade type feel of a movie. And so we think that that would best cater to our audience, and we would put it in theaters, in select theaters around the country. So for those who want the true cinematic feeling of the intense loud music and just the entire theater feeling, but that was our major way of distributing it would be on online streaming services.